Welcome back to the Paperback Podcast. And today I got something for y'all. Oh my jeez. By the end of this video, you're never gonna come on this channel again. Today we're gonna talk about the book Earthlings. Sorry the lighting is a little dark by the way. It's like fucking 7 p.m. here, so it's like no more light. But the book we're talking about today is Earthlings by Sayaka Murata. I hope I did not butcher that. Japanese, I think. Yes, she is Japanese. So this book, I saw it on TikTok like literally 2 years ago. And then I was walking around my local bookstore, even though I had told myself, Jenny, you can't buy any books anymore, you're broke. But then I saw this book and I was like, hey, I saw this on TikTok a while ago and it sounded very interesting. Let's pick it up. So I immediately broke my new book ban because I have books that I should be reading, but I'm not. So I got this one. So basically what it's about is on the back cover, right? This cover, don't let it fool you, brother. This book is the definition of don't judge a book by its cover. Oh, y'all, I'm about to fucking buckle up right now. Jesus Christ. At the back of the book, it says, as a child, Natsuki believed she was an alien, a different species to her Earthling family and classmates. She hoped a spaceship would come down and take her home. So I was like, yeah, this sounds pretty interesting. Like, it will probably go into like feeling isolated as a child and all that kind of stuff, maybe how it affects you in your adulthood. And it did do that, but in a way that f- nothing could have prepared me for this book. Okay. So you got Natsuki who believes that she's an alien. And at the begin like the first few chapters are about her childhood. Very traumatic by the way, a lot about like also if you're like below the age of 13, don't watch this video. This is absolutely horrifying. Okay, like this video not made for kids. If you're a kid, get out of here. Talks a lot about her traumatic childhood experiences. I won't go exactly into what happens because oh my god. Yeah, I'm not gonna exactly tell you what happened during her childhood, but just very traumatic stuff. Like her mom was also like very verbally, emotionally, and physically abusive. And so one summer she spends the summer at her grandparents' house in like the fucking middle of nowhere with her cousin Yu. That's spelled Yuu. And so these two, they both bond over the fact that they believe that they're aliens. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so they both kind of believe that they're aliens. And then it takes a little weird turn. Because I remember at the beginning I was like, oh, this is cute. Like they have like a cute like cousin relationship. They feel like isolated and stuff. And then at some point, the main character, Natsuki, she says, "You is my boyfriend." How we feeling about this one, chat? I'm not feeling too good about when I read that, I was like, oh, I see. I guess it's not that uncommon, but it's still weird. It's still weird. It's still weird. It's still weird. I'm not happy about it. So then I like to call this a terrible and disturbing sequence of events happens. First of all, their grandfather dies, and on the day of his funeral. I need to remind you, these are 7-year-olds. They they commit an act of incest. I have tears in my eyes right now, okay? I don't know why this always happens when I'm talking about a book that I didn't particularly like. My eyes tear up. Oh my god. Okay. I'm not feeling so great about this one. I can't lie to y'all. The absolute way that this book shocked me, I could talk like nothing in my life has ever compared to the shock that I've experienced in this book. And I've experienced some weird shit, okay? But this, nothing. Not one experience, not even the time that I was arrested, compares to this. The absolute shock. I'm like, no. So, the family freaks out because they see them committing the act of incest, to put it lightly. And so they're never allowed to see each other again, right? And so at this point, the book skips all the way to Natsuki's adulthood. So now she's an adult. She still believes that she's an alien, and she's married. But the thing is, she didn't marry her husband out of like love or whatever. They both met on an online forum, like this online community of people who want to like escape society. Like they call it the factory in the book. Like they want to like escape society, so they get married, so people will stop like putting pressure on them to get married. You know, they're married already, so like it doesn't matter. So they get married to escape society, right? And it just the story just follows like this timeline of them being like completely lost in this like idea of being aliens and like being from another planet, that they go. Y'all are not ready for this. Y'all are not ready for this shit, bro. Goddamn. Okay. I need to get a fucking light on in here. It's getting darker every second. Like, nah, hold on. I need... Oh, Jesus Christ. And the Lord said, let there be light. Oh my goodness. Oh, there you go. You can see my face now. I should do this all the time. The lighting's way better. And the camera quality and everything. Okay, yeah. So they come become lost in like this whole idea of like being aliens. The husband thinks he's an alien. The cousin thinks he's an alien. She, I choked on my hair. She thinks that she's an alien. Everyone's a fucking alien. Okay, like I mean, I understand why they believe that they're aliens because like I mean they just feel so different. Because they feel when you feel even a little bit different from society, it is like it can be so extreme because people will like just you'll become like an outcast, okay? You will be like treated differently. But uh, are y'all ready for this? Seriously, if you're under the age of 13, get no, even if you're 13, get the fuck out of here. Y'all are not ready for this. So they become so lost in this idea of being aliens, that they go to, you know, the grandparents' house that they visited all those years ago in the summer, and they live there together with the cousin, the husband, and Natsuki. So just those three, right? These are all people who believe that they're aliens. And they start like this. And by the way, spoil huge spoiler warning. So they kind of, I mean, no one else lives in that house, and that house is so isolated from literally anything else. So they basically have just like their own little cult there. And so eventually I don't even like, I don't know how to speak about this, bro. So eventually they get kind of like the hill to go down to the grocery store gets like blocked off by snow. And there's literally no one else around because everyone left their houses. Like So there, it's like a village basically, and so everyone else left because they saw like the snow coming in. They're like, well, if we get fucking snowed in, we can't go to the grocery store. We'll just starve to death, you know. So everyone else left, but they stayed in there. So they're the only people in this village. So at first they're like, okay, we'll just like raid the other people's houses, get their food, all you know, just steal their food, whatever. We'll be fine. But then they run out of food, and a little backstory. Natsuki, she was like her in her childhood, her teacher kind of like did some bad stuff. So she ended up murdering him. Yes. And so the parents of that guy have been like looking for the murderer like forever, you know? And so all these years later, when they've got like this little cult going on, like in this little village, those parents come to the house. And because it's the middle of the night, everyone's like kind of freaked. And they end up like just killing both of them, right? Because they're just like, what the fuck is going on? We're gonna get fucking murdered and robbed. You know, people breaking into our house in the middle of the night, whatever. Understandable, but see, what you need to understand is at this point they've become absolutely mentally deranged. Absolutely, they adapt like this very rational lifestyle where they're like, yes, it would be not rational to do this. Yes, it would be rational to do that. Blah blah blah. So then they're like, hey, we don't have any more food. Why don't we just eat the guy that we just killed? Yes, that's very rational. That we should do that. It's very rational. We should do that. It's a very rational thing to do. I have a soundboard here. Okay, I don't know if that was fitting. Hold on. What about this one? Oh, it just keeps going. Okay, okay, okay. So they and in the weirdest like narrating thing ever, like narrative. I don't know, like the way that it's talked about, the way that I need to pull this up. I mean, they make like miso soup out of him. What the fuck? What the fuck is this, bro? This is insane. And that isn't even the worst part, y'all. That is not even the. Hold on. We prepared three-man dishes. Not main, man. Miso soup with man. Daikon leaf with man. Man stir fry. And man simmered in sweetened soya sauce. Oh my god, who wrote this? Who wrote this, bro? Who is this woman? What? This cover is so cute. I don't even know what to think anymore. I don't can I even trust myself anymore if I see a book like this? I'm like, oh, this is cute. I should read this. And then, oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on. Okay. So no, I can't move on because it gets even worse. Okay, hold on. So they eat the two people that they killed, as you do. Oh my god. And then they again they run out of food, you know, because like I mean, again, ain't gonna last forever, and they're still fucking snowed in. So they start eating each other, like not even killing each other and eating, just straight up. It was right there on that very bed that I read this book, and I I don't think I will ever be the same person again. I'm not gonna lie. I know that this is like there's probably even like crazier, wilder, more deranged books. You ain't seen nothing yet, you know? But I was not prepared. Oh, I dropped it again. I would have liked a little warning. Just I guess I didn't read the fucking you know how at the front of the book they have like what people said about it. I guess I didn't read this one. If you appreciate trigger warnings, Earthlings requires them all child abuse, violence, incest, and plenty more. I guess I didn't get to read that. I didn't want to read that. My fault. So my initial reaction was like, oh, like cute book. You know, it's gonna be sad and stuff. It was sad. But afterwards, 1,000 yard stare. 1,000 yard stare. I I think this is one of the most like deranged and disturbing and insane books that I've ever read. Even like the beginning of like the like the first few chapters were like talking about her childhood and stuff, and that was all very sad but also very graphic. Like the difference between the beginning and the ending of this book, insanity. How is this the same book? Okay, like I'm gonna read to you the first little bit, the first page, and I'm gonna read to you the last page. Okay. Deep in the mountains of Akushina, where Granny and Grandpa lived, fragments of night linger even at midday. As we wound our way up steep, up up steep, hairpin bends, I gazed out the window at the swaying trees at the undersides of the leaves, so swollen they looked as though they would burst. That was where the pitch black darkness was. I always felt an urge to reach out to that blackness, the color of space. Next to me, Mom was rubbing my sister's back. Are you okay, Kise? These mountain roads are so steep. No wonder you're feeling carsick. Dad gripped the Dad gripped the steering wheel, not saying anything. He was driving slowly to keep the car as steady as he possibly could, glan- glancing anxiously at Kise in the rear view mirror. And then the last page. Earthlings, I muttered. The rescue party Earthlings took one glance at us huddled together and grunted, holding their hands over their mouths. Are you human? An Earthling male finally managed to squeeze out as he stared at us. The three of us looked at each other. And for context, the planet of these that these aliens claim to be of is called Popinbopopia. So then they say Popinbopopia like over and over again. Seriously, when I was reading this book, I was like, I'm skipping over that word as much as I can. I cannot read that. Gently rubbing his swollen belly protectively, with his right hand, Yu started speaking to him in fluent Earthling language. We're from planet Popinpopopia. You are too, aren't you? And it describes how one of the guys threw up. What are those bellies? Another Earthling male next to him asked, his voice hoarse. The three of us are pregnant, my husband said, holding his belly up with both hands. No, I can't read it. I can't read the rest of this. My I like I gagged. What the fuck? Okay, no, I need to move on. I can't think about this. I can't. Okay. Would I recommend this book? In my opinion, you have to be a very specific type of person to enjoy these books. If you like horror kind of stuff, go ahead, man. Oh, I'm sorry, but like Me personally, I just don't like these kind of books. I understand like the whole shocking effect, and I do. Don't get me wrong. I do think that this book, in its own way, portrayed some like problems with our society very well. Like especially because I'm aware that in like Japan, Korea, they're very harsh towards women, and I think this book talked about that very well. However, was this really necessary? Was that ending really necessary? Miso soup man? This book was just too insane for me. That like I have to give it 3 stars. I'm sorry. Like it's not like it was bad or anything. It was just like it's not for me. These kind of books are not for me. If you genuinely enjoy reading like horror kinds of like okay, horror I can understand, but like, this is like just disturbing. Okay. If you enjoy reading this kind of stuff, go ahead, but stay far away from me. No. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. That's all I got to say, bro. Like I would I'll put a video of because I recorded my reaction right after I finished this book. I'll put that video right here, right now. Yes, as you can see, I don't know, y'all. I like I've been waiting to do a fucking video on this one because like I needed to get this out of here. I mean, afterwards I was telling my friends like, y'all would not believe the kind of book I just read. This is insanity. Okay. Anyways, that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Paperback Podcast, and I'll see y'all next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.